Rango sits. Sits, Rango. Let him. Sits, Rango. Rango. Sits, Rango. Sit, Rango. Let him muy bien. Up. Vamos, vamos. Pinch. Anarchist dogs. See you. It's good to be back in Acapulco. My dogs are even more disobedient than normal. Leave for a week and they forget like the one command that I asked them to do. Sits. Lucy didn't even sit. Lucy! Lucy, Ben? Lucy! Hey, muy bien, Bruce. That's my boy, Bruce. Lucy! Yeah, they're not even listening to me. So I was gone for about a week, and I did it. My plan was to stick for the entire week of travel to my routine, and I did it almost perfectly. The only thing I didn't was I had a vegetarian cheese pizza one night in Las Vegas. So I'm gonna allow myself a little bit of one error, but that was it. Well, actually, two really, because I ate like noodles every day. There's this. I love Vietnamese pho. Oh, car coming. Jetty, Ben. Bruce. Muy bien, Lucy. And Singapore fried noodles. Oh my God, I haven't had Asian food in so long. So on my diet, the mucusless diet and healing system, you're not supposed to eat anything like pasta or rice or noodles or obviously meat or dairy, really just vegetables and fruit. And so that was my only sort of thing, and I ate that every day. I think I put on a little bit of fat, which is kind of funny because I just ate it once a day. Other than that, I stuck to my intermittent fasting. But just the one noodle dish a day, I think, maybe it's psychological, but I feel like I put on a little bit of fat. But I also put on some muscle for sure, because I've definitely been working out, so that's good. But yeah, super happy to have done it. I said I was going to do it, and what I said before was, if you really have an intention to do something, you really focus on it, you will do it. And that's always the case. Sometimes it doesn't happen right away, sometimes it can be weeks. Sometimes it can be days, weeks, sometimes it can be months. Rarely have I found it's years. Usually if you really focus on something, you want to do something, you will do it. But it sometimes takes a little bit of time. But yeah, so part of the thing I wanted to talk about today was just how freeing it is when you can get over these things. So what I've learned through this process is, and I'm an anarchist, I talk a lot about anarchy. And I talk a lot about freedom, obviously. What I've learned is we can be our own worst government, worse than the government. Our own brain, our own conscious, our own subconscious can be even worse in many ways than what the government's trying to do. And man, the dogs are they're just going crazy, going everywhere. They're so happy I'm back, it's great. Actually, I don't know if I could throw it in here, but getting home last night was pretty funny. The welcoming committee. Essa Bruce Lara! Chama eu, chama muito bem, Bruce! Muito bem, Lara! Lucy! Lucy! Injury! Muy bien, Lara! Muy bien, Rango! Muy bien, Rango! Rango! Muy bien! Chama eu, Lucy! Lucy, sit. Essa my girl. Muy bien, Jadi, muy bien. Muy bien. Good. But, yeah, so what I've realized is any sort of, I hate using the word addiction because addiction isn't what they say it is. Just like everything else in life, whatever they say it is usually wrong. It's not like this thing where, like when I was drinking a lot, it's not like I had to do it. It wasn't like this physical thing where I started shaking and I had to have a drink. Man, the dogs are going crazy today. But it was just like I used it because it made me, I thought it made me feel better. It didn't actually. That was the mind trick. But what I've realized is it's not just alcohol, it's not just cigarettes. It could be food, it could be sex, it could be lots of different things. And most people have some sort of what you would call addiction. Or dependency is probably a better word. Actually, that's a way better word. Most people have at least one of those dependencies, and they don't realize that that can actually be way worse than even the government, which already is bad. But because the government's not always with us, obviously, thankfully. I don't see any government people here on this road at the moment. No one with a gun saying, hey, you owe me some money, bitch. And like, oh, God. So, there's, the government can't be all over the place all the time on top of you. But there's one person who can always be right there fucking with you. And that's you, your subconscious. So in many ways, a lot of anarchists are really, gung-ho, we got to get rid of government because it is such an evil thing. But many of them have these dependencies, which are even worse than the government. So maybe this goes to this whole thing that I've been talking about you need to fix yourself first before you can fix the world. I never really thought about it in this way, but I think that's actually the case. So now, I feel, because I've gotten rid of my dependency on alcohol, like on this trip, well, I'll just finish that statement, I feel freer than I've ever felt in my life. Like nothing even comes close to how I feel right now, which is an amazing feeling. It's almost like government went away, Like, because this thing was worse than government in my life. This dependency. And just not even realizing it for so many years, I thought it was helping me. Oh, if I'm going to go to that conference, well, I don't really like being around like 1,000 people. Especially with them all coming up with cameras and wanting to talk to me and all this sort of stuff. This helps. Oh, now I'm more relaxed, whatever. I can get through it. So I thought it was helping. It actually wasn't. Making it worse. If I would have just got more into meditation and, not drank, that would have been far better. Far, far, far better. But I've now gotten rid of that. I've gotten rid of cigarettes a while ago. And that was unbelievably easy. So was alcohol too, by the way. Once I got the brainwashing out. It's truly the brainwashing. Because I think what I've realized is I'm the kind of person who will take everything as far as it will go, as hard as it will go. And I tried to do that with both cigarettes and alcohol. So I was like under the impression the cigarettes were helping me. So I'm like, well, if this is helping me, I should be smoking like 3 packs of these or more a day if it's helping me. And that's what I actually thought. I can't believe I fell for it, but I did. It wasn't really conscious though. It was like the subconscious. It was just, yeah, that's what it was. It was like the subconscious. I thought it was helping. Well, if it's helping, let's do more of it, right? Same thing with alcohol. Okay, this is helping me get over. I don't like to be around crowds. I have quite a bit of stress. This seems to help. Well, if it's helping, why not drink a lot more? That's my personality, right? Same thing with like all the diets and stuff I've been doing, the fasting. If fasting works, which it totally does in a good way, whereas the cigarettes and alcohol were not helping in a bad way, then I go full on it, right? I've tried almost every fast there is now, and even to this day, I'm still intermittently fasting every single day because it's helping. So whatever I find helps or adds to my life, I pretty much will do it all, right? But that's kind of a bad thing when it comes to being confused about things like cigarettes and alcohol, where I thought it was helping, so I was doing it full blast. Why wouldn't I if I thought it was helping, right? But I was wrong. It wasn't helping. And then it's getting worse and worse. You're smoking and you're drinking. You're like, why am I not feeling good? Because I'm doing as much of this stuff as I can. I thought this was supposed to help, or this was helping, and this is helping, right? No, I can't believe how stupid I was. I'm like, I think I've never done a full IQ test, but it's like genius level or right around there. Totally fooled, like not even close. Like I was totally bamboozled. So if I can, you can imagine how anyone with a lesser IQ test is bullshit, but people who don't think as well, or whatever you want to say, how easily they could get fooled. So let's turn back here. Actually getting a late start to the day because I got home around 11 last night. Pretty tired, but not as tired as I would have been if I had been drinking on the plane, which I would have always been doing because it was helping, right? Still can't believe it, how I felt for it. So I had way better, more energy, felt way better than I normally do, but I was still pretty tired. It was, a long day of travel. Hit the bed with my wife and the dogs, and I was out, I think instantly. I don't remember even taking one breath, and I was gone. Woke up fairly late, around 9 in the morning, and had a bunch of stuff I wanted to do. And so anyway, for a few hours I did some stuff. It's now like 12 in the afternoon. It's definitely hotter, although nothing like Vegas. They're all so happy. That's my girl. How you doing, Lucy? Uy, bien. Yeah, they're all hot. You can see how their tongues are all hanging out. So I don't want to walk them too far, too hard today in the heat. Tomorrow I'll get up earlier. But yeah, I'm totally over alcohol. It's not even close. I was a little worried because when I travel, that's when I'm at my weakest. And that's really when I want to drink, right? Sitting in the hotel room alone. I'm in places I don't necessarily like all that much, like Vegas. I don't really like it that much. And then whatever it is, other stresses, I just feel like I want to drink. So my one concern was, well, let's see if I can really do this. Because I was pretty sure after reading that book by Alan Carr, The Easy Way to Control Drinking, I was like 99% sure. I'm like, this is gone. The brainwashing's gone. I have no interest. Just like with the smoking after reading his other book. What amazing books. People need to know about these books. And but the one thing I was like, well, I've said this before and I haven't been able to stick to it, so there's that doubt. But now it wasn't even a thought. It's just gone now. It's over. So I'm like free. The brainwashing's gone. And like I said, the cigarettes and alcohol were way worse, way more oppressive on my life than the government's ever been. And that's why I want to actually get out there on this video is maybe you don't drink, maybe you don't smoke, but maybe you eat a lot or something. Maybe there's something that you have a dependency on. I don't even know, maybe it's opiates. I don't even know what else you could have a dependency on. But if there is anything, then you are actually more oppressed. You're oppressing yourself more than most governments will, unless you happen to live in North Korea or Cuba, where it is extra oppressive. You're probably worse to yourself than any government currently is. So that's the great news, because if that's the case and you're one of those people, then you can find a way to get rid of that dependency and you'll be like way freer. Like I feel so free right now. Because what it was is this thing was just constantly driving me. So I'd be somewhere and I'd be like, have this feeling of whatever it is, not happy or stress or whatever, I need a drink. Well, now this thing is telling me, it's almost like your subconscious is doing it. Let him in. Let him in. This thing's controlling you constantly. Maybe it's food with some people, right? You always got this feeling, oh, I need some food, whatever it is. And it's usually probably not good food for you, really. That is totally controlling you. So if you can find a way to get rid of that, Jetty, Ben. Jetty, Ben. Jetty, sits. Jetty. Jetty. Jetty, Jetty. 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 There's a person coming. He'll always start barking, then everyone will start barking. Lucy, no. Let her know. Let her in. Lucy. they're extra like high strung today because I don't think they've been walking much. So everything's they see, they're going crazy. Rango, Lara, Ben, and aquí. Muy bien. All right. So yeah, for people, a lot of anarchists said they really want. Oh, there's a lizard running down the street. Rango, oh good, he got away. A lot of anarchists. Oh, this is the other thing I want to talk about today. A lot of anarchists think the world's so bad because of government, and yeah, it is. Government totally sucks. It's like indisputable. Just look at the hundreds of millions of people killed through that superstition in the 20th century. Not to mention all the extortion and how it destroys and impoverishes people, and through central banking as well. But like I said, in many ways, most people are actually more oppressed by themselves. So if you can get over that, that's huge. Like, I feel so amazing right now. Like, the world is like my oyster at the moment. I'm like, I actually got a call by the Iranian media propaganda channel Press TV again last night on the plane. They wanted me to do an interview. I told them I couldn't because I was on a plane. But they want to, for whatever reason, they think I'm like the guy right now, which is great. So I think I might go over to Iran and do a live interview with them, which would be great. Like, just cool. And I've never been to Iran. Like, all of a sudden, all this stuff is exciting. Whereas in the past, I'd be like, well, Iran, you can't drink there. So it'd be like this, stressful, a week without drinking, which is ridiculous. I'm putting my own stress on myself with this brainwashing, which is now gone. But the other part of what I want to talk about is, and this is a totally separate topic, but it is somewhat related, is I've started to realize how the matrix works, or what life is. And a lot of people will say how bad it is, right? Because they'll look at the news, right? First of all, don't look at the news, especially the mainstream media news, right? But all that stuff's meant to put you in a state of unhappiness, fear. Like, most of the time when I'm talking to someone, they go, the world is a horrible place. We're usually like in a place like this, having a good time. So that is actually part of the matrix that wants you to constantly think that things suck and that you can't fix it, and there's a lot of problems. It could be like wars and stuff, a lot of fear. I think that's all the matrix. So blue today. So yeah, of course there's shitty things happening everywhere. Not everywhere, but in some places. Syria is a good example. But I'm not there. Of course, I do not support anything that's going on there with Donald Trump and the North Atlantic Terrorist Organization bombing men, women, and children. But I'm not there. I don't have to experience this hell. I can do what I can do from here to help by spreading the word about just how evil the whole thing is, how they're using all these lies. The latest is they're basically trying to use the weapons of mass destruction lie again. Just trying to expose the system for what it is. But I don't need to be all depressed because crappy shit is happening. That doesn't help anyone. And in fact, where I am at this very moment in time is almost like paradise. And I feel so good because I've gotten rid of my dependencies. So I'm very free right now. And I'm also in Mexico, which is quite free as far as government even goes. So I'm like, I've gotten rid of the worst government, which is myself. Government is mind control, right? So I gotten rid of the mind control, which was myself, which was driving me to never be very happy, always feel like I needed something. Gotten rid of that. I'm also in a place where there isn't much government. You can tell, very dangerous here. Keep watching the news, right? Yeah, there's crap going on in the world, but I don't need to get all depressed about it. And who knows, like I'm not there. First of all, I don't know exactly what's happening because I'm not there. And you can't trust anything you hear from pretty much anyone else. Definitely not the mainstream media, obviously. So who knows what's going on? Maybe nothing's even going on. Maybe it's all fake. I don't think so. It looks pretty real, the images I've seen, but who knows? I don't know. And I'm not a part of whatever's going on there. Maybe some people, for whatever reason, this needs to happen. I don't know. Who am I to judge what's going on, right? But my point is, I don't need to wake up and ruin my day about it. I will do what I can to make, push freedom, truth, justice in the world. I'll do everything I can to do that. But I don't need to be all depressed because of it. In fact, I think that's what the system kind of wants. Like, look where I am right now. Like, this is great. Look how cute, look how wonderful. Ringo. Look how wonderful. Look in his eyes. Look. It's a conscious being, conscious, beautiful being. Ringo. Ringo. Jetty, he's crazy. Look at him. Look at his eyes. Jetty. Yeah. Bruce. Lucy. Yeah, that's my boy Bruce. Yeah. So this is what my current experience is. That's my Lucy. Lucy Ben. Lucy. Yeah, she doesn't listen to me. Yeah. So yeah, there's lots of crap going on in the world. Do I need to ruin my day about it? No. I think that's sort of part of, like I said, I think it's part of the system. It's to have you constantly upset, worried, fearful. Well, I definitely don't have much fear, if any. I haven't in a long time anyway. I used to get kind of upset, yeah. So when I was drinking in the past, a lot of the times people would ask me, like, why are you drinking so much? I'd be like, this world's so screwed up, yeah, I'd let it get to me. I think that's the matrix though. And I think once you kind of get outside of that, you just you don't have to let that stuff upset you. And I know it upsets a lot of people. I hear it all the time. I hear a lot of anarchists saying, I can't take it anymore, Everyone's a zombie. Everyone around me is a zombie. They're doing all this crazy stuff, which is hurting lots of people, including even myself, through extorting me. Taking people, fathers smoke some weed to relax after work. And then these people come and kidnap them, put them into a camp, and now his family's living on the street. This is like one of millions of government-related stories. But you don't have to let that get you down. And in many ways, everything that does happen seems to happen for a reason. So you don't know why that's happening to that person. Who knows? Maybe it was some past life. I don't know. Maybe they did something in this life and there's some karma that you don't even know about. Maybe they're completely innocent. Who knows? I don't know. But you don't need to let it get you down. That's one thing I'm starting to learn. You need to just... well, you do whatever you want. I'm not telling you what to do. But what I think is we need to just live our lives, do the right thing in our lives, be around people we love. And if we don't love being around them, don't be around them. That's another thing I hear about anarchists all the time. They're like, I can't stand my family, my friends. Like, well, then leave. You don't need to hang out with them. Go find a place where you like hanging out with the people. But yeah, you don't need to all we really need to do is to take care of ourselves, right? Be in areas we want to be in. I'm in an area I definitely want to be in. I'm surrounded by things, people, dogs, even parakeets or birds that I love. And I'm doing what I love to do, my passion, which is what I always recommend everyone do, which just so happens to have the consequence of changing the world and getting rid of a lot of the evil stuff, which includes governments and central banks and things like that. And even my own experiences, for whatever reason, I don't know how many people I've read on YouTube or get emails, And they're like, I quit drinking because what you were doing, or I started fasting and I feel amazing, and all of a sudden all my diseases are gone, or whatever it is, diabetes or anything. I've heard this like hundreds of times. I've only been talking about this stuff for like a couple of months. So that's great. So I'm doing my thing. I'm doing my passion. You know, even when I go to the U.S., a lot of people, I used to, see, that's how I was. So I've changed a lot in the last few years. I used to say, I'm never going to the U.S. again. It's too oppressive, it's too much police state. The government's too evil. I don't want to be around that kind of evil shit. But now I've kind of changed. I'm like, I'll go. And you know what? It's all based on your attitude and stuff too, and your energy. I was not attracting anything. You know, I had no problems with government, no problems with cops. I don't think I even see many cops on this trip. So I've kind of got this, because you create your own reality too. So if I was really worried and like about the cops in the US or whatever, I'd probably have a problem with the cops in the US. You attract that energy. I don't know exactly how it works, but I know it's true. So my energy was very good. It was like, I love poker. So after the Red Pill Expo, I'm gonna go play some poker at the World Series of Poker. Didn't do very well, but actually it was a great learning experience. And it was also kind of fun just to be a part of that, because I'm really into it. Poker is an amazing game. It's just something I really enjoy when I'm not doing other work. So I just went and had a great time, and so I created my own experience there, even in what I consider to be one of the worst countries in the world in terms of oppression and liberty and stuff like that. So you can, you know, make the best of it wherever. So I guess there's 2 points to this video. The one is that you may think the government is the most oppressive thing in the world, but it's probably you. And there's probably some sort of dependencies or issues, and this, even issues, not even just dependencies. You might be ruining your own life and you don't even know it, because you've got some subconscious problems that you've had from some trauma when you were a kid or whatever. So again, go inside and fix all those things. And then all of a sudden the world will kind of fix itself to some extent. And you'll be the change you want to see in the world, because even a lot of the stuff I'm doing, I get so many comments and notes. Lucy! Where'd Rango go? There's Bruce. Rango! There he is. Okay. Lucy, bud! Lucy! I get so many comments that people have changed because I've changed. Like, it's in the hundreds. It could even be thousands. I just started talking about this stuff in the last couple months. And people are like, thank you. I did that, and now my life's so much better. Right? Now imagine they've got friends, right? And they might not even be anarchist friends. They may be status. But they're like, hey, Tommy used to be like that angry, drunk anarchist who hated the world. Oh, what we got? Oh, we got, where's Jerry? Lucy, no. Muy bien, Lucy, muy bien. I just gotta find Jerry. He'll be the one who'll get into a fight. Lucy actually likes Chispita. I think her name's Chispita. Muy bien, muy bien. I'm missing Jerry. Where's Jerry? Jerry! Jerry! Oh, there's Rango. Where's Jerry? There he is. Jerry. Jerry, ven. Sits. Sits. Muy bien. Alright. Alright. Yeah, Chispita, yeah. It's okay. It's okay. It's okay. So yeah, they might say, yeah, you used to be like the angry guy. You'd say how the government sucks and you can't take it in this world anymore. And you'd be drinking like crazy and you'd be calling us dicks. But now you've stopped drinking and you seem to have this like energy about you, and you're like, you're not all upset anymore. What did you do? Maybe I'll stop drinking. And as I stop drinking, maybe you'll tell me a little bit about how anarchy works, and I'll go, Yeah, well, I want to be like you because you seem to know what's going on, right? That's how I think we change the world. We're not going to change it through violence. We're not going to change it through being upset. We're not going to change it through being depressed, obviously. Because if you're depressed, you're not going to be doing anything. And no one wants to hang out with a depressed person, believe me, including yourself. So yeah, I think I'm kind of getting it. Fix yourself. Don't get too upset that the world's so screwed up. Just take care of your own life. Of course, if there's any way you can, obviously, like if you're really, truly upset about what's going on in places like Syria, then take some action, sure. Try to spread some information. Probably information is the best way. So sure, yeah, do that. But don't let it get you depressed and upset. There's no point. And I think that's sort of what the system's designed to do. So if that's the case, why would we want the system to win, right? Why would we want it to do what it's supposed to do? Why not be the truest and most authentic version of ourselves, fix ourselves, be very happy, and through that we'll have tons of energy to be able to help change some things, but without getting too upset about it all or depressed about it all. Believe me, if you're going to get upset or depressed, just look at pretty much any part of human history, any particular day of human history, something really crappy happened. So are you going to get all depressed about that? Seems sort of like if you are, you're just going to be depressed all the time, and then your whole life just kind of is horrible. And what's the point? Did you change anything? Like, yeah, some crappy stuff happened. Cambodia, Pol Pot killed like I don't even know how many people. Totally sucked. You're gonna get depressed about it? Is that gonna change what happened? Of course not, right? It already happened. So anything that's already happened, you can't change. The point is, if you want to try to change things that might happen in the future for better results, great. But don't get depressed about what happened. I think too, Bruce, no. My chihuahuas can get into these gates. Don't go in their house, Bruce. Bruce, Lucy. Forget what I was just about to say. It was just some small comment. Oh yeah, I think the Matrix, well, if you think about it, whoever created it, right? And someone obviously created it. I don't mean someone like a person, but whatever, something created it, right? Like, the craziest idea I've ever heard is that nothing created any of this and it just happened. That is like beyond ridiculous to think that. And it's sad the people who do think that, because it's obvious something created it. Something. You can't even describe it, whatever it is, right? I forgot my point again. But totally lost it. But something obviously created it. Oh yeah, I got it back. So something. Lucy, she's already inside. Lucy, no. Lucy, Ben, Ringo, no, Ringo, Ben. Oh yeah, so whoever created it, or whatever created it, right? If everything was always good, you'd never know that it was good, right? It always has to be this yin and yang, the black and the white, the duality. Otherwise, if everything was always good, you would never know it's good. In fact, I don't even know what it'd be like if everything was always good. Imagine that. I'm sure some people have thought about it. Probably would be kind of boring, right? Because what are some of the things that are interesting about life is, you know, getting involved, seeing some things that you don't like and making some changes. To me, I like that. So yeah, we almost need the bad stuff anyway, right? So why get upset about it? It's actually good to have the bad stuff, because without the bad stuff, you wouldn't even know what good was. So I think that's sort of my point. Fix yourself. You're the worst government you've ever had, probably. And don't get worried and upset and depressed about anything that's not directly related to you. You just can't. It'd just be silly to do that, and it won't change anything. It'd be much better to just make sure everything in your little space is all good. The things you love are all good. They're happy, like my dogs here. They're really happy. And make the changes, and that's how you'll change the people around you anyway. Yeah, you guys are hot, huh? That's my girl there. You want some water? Yeah, that's my girl. Muy bien, Lucy. Muy bien, Jerry. Muy bien, Bruce. Rango! Rango, Ben! Rango! Ben! Rango! Rango! That's my boy. What's wrong? Something wrong, Rango? Something wrong? That's my boy. Muy bien, Rango.